You know that feeling when you're watching something and you've seen the actors before in a movie or a TV show but can't quite place it? Well, we're here to help you with that in this video. The Crown is back with its 5th season on Netflix with some new faces, and it's better than ever. So here are the 10 movies and TV shows where you've seen the cast before. First up, Leslie Manville in Phantom Thread. Everybody loves Princess Margaret on The Crown. She's one of our faves. She's been played to perfection by both Helena Bonham Carter and Vanessa Kirby in the first 4 seasons. And now, we're sure Manville will pick it right where we left off in season 5. The actress has the incredible range needed to portray a complicated and super interesting character, the princess. We're sure she hits it out of the park. In the past, we've seen Leslie in many projects, as she's been in the industry for decades at this point, but her most notable role was in Phantom Thread, where she played the supporting role of Cyril Woodcock, Reynolds' sister. Most of her scenes were opposite the one and only Daniel Day-Lewis, and she held her ground very well, so she's pretty much a legend.
I mean, why wouldn't you? I think only a foolish actor would say no to a role like this. She's a fantastic character.
Next up, Imelda Staunton in the Harry Potter films. We have absolutely no doubt that the biggest Potterheads recognized her instantly, but if you're still wondering, you've seen Staunton in the Harry Potter franchise before. Yep, that's right. She played the iconic and terrifying role of Dolores Umbridge. So it's a big adjustment into the world of royalty, as Umbridge is quite different from her role as Queen Elizabeth in The Crown.
I'm delighted to be here, inheriting the role of Queen Elizabeth from 2 outstanding actresses, most recently the wonderful Olivia Colman, and who could forget the actress who originated the part, Claire Foy.
But hey, that's simply how good of an actress she is. She can do anything at all. She has quite huge shoes to fill, as Claire Foy gave the Queen the perfect start, and Olivia Colman couldn't have been better in her performance, but know that Staunton will be just as good. Imelda stands out in every role she plays. Honestly, they couldn't have found anyone better to play this role. Following this, Jonathan Pryce in Game of Thrones. Speaking of characters everybody hated, we've got another actor with a diverse portfolio, but Pryce's most memorable role in the Game of Thrones was as the High Sparrow. He was superb in a show full of phenomenal actors, and in a very short time made a huge impact on the story, something that speaks of his greatness. Will forever be remembered as the man who almost beat Cersei Lannister, and you know there aren't many who can say that. Everybody cheered when he was swept by wildfire in Thrones, but were excited to see him in The Crown. He took over the role of Prince Philip from Tobias Menzies and Matt Smith, both of whom couldn't have been better, and Pryce is doing the character justice too. Oh, and a fun fact, did you know that all 3 actors who play the prince have been in the Game of Thrones universe at one point? Isn't that incredible? Of course, Smith is currently playing the fierce Daemon Targaryen on House of the Dragon, and Menzies played the role of Edmure Tully on The Parent Show.
And this time round, I was doing nothing. The script arrived.
Not to mention Dominic West in The Wire. Between you and us, we were the most excited about this edition. We shouldn't have to tell you that West was on the greatest show of all time, without a doubt. He was the lead on The Wire, and we can't see anybody else playing the character of McNulty. Set in the city of Baltimore, you'd never even guess West was British. He was just too good for 5 seasons. You loved and hated him, but could never look away from him. We'd even argue that he's one of this generation's best TV actors.
Well, it was, I suppose, the first thing that made me want to do it. It's really good training, disco dancing. I recommend it. Yeah, it's really tiring and really hard.
Despite his success in the past, the actor has pretty big shoes to fill, as Josh O'Connor won an Emmy for his role as Prince Charles in The Crown, but we're certain West will do it just as well. He's got the looks and the charisma needed to play the prince. His chemistry with Lady Di will be key, but he could charm anybody if you ask us. Moving on, Elizabeth Debicki in The Great Gatsby. Folks, all eyes will be on her this season as she takes on the role of Princess Diana. We've loved watching her story unfold on the show, and season 4 was super devastating for everybody's favorite royal, although we're sure it's not getting any easier this time. Especially since the release of Spencer, the interest in Lady Di's life has grown. But let's be honest, when was she ever not one of the most talked about people in the world? Lady Di, you will always be famous. Debicki has been a superstar over the past decade, but we'd argue her most iconic role remains the classy Jordan Baker in The Great Gatsby, perhaps until now. She was glamorous, sparkly, and larger than life in the Baz Luhrmann film, so this should be known territory for her. Apart from that, she was also superb in Tenet and Widows over the last few years. We have no doubt she's going to win everybody's hearts as the princess.
Is that you, my lovely?
Daisy Buchanan, the Golden Girl.
Coming up, Olivia Williams in Rushmore. We can't discuss Charles and Diana's relationship without talking about Camilla, so let's take a trip down memory lane, shall we? There's no doubt that this scandal will be one of the main plots in season 5, and for a couple more after that. Olivia Williams is picking up the role of Camilla, but we're having trouble seeing her in part, as she often seems super likable in her characters. Remember Wes Anderson's Rushmore? She played Rosemary Cross, and didn't you want to just protect her with your life in that film? In the quirky comedy, her character was the center of rationality, while everybody around her did super questionable things, so it'll be interesting to see her as Camilla. Knowing what an incredible actress she is, we have no doubt she's done a great job. Up next, Johnny Lee Miller in Elementary. From Winston Churchill to Margaret Thatcher, we've seen various prime ministers of the UK on The Crown. These scenes show the Queen's political standings and the relationship between Buckingham Palace and Westminster. Lee Miller will be playing the role of John Major, who serves as the Prime Minister for 7 years in the 90s. The actor is most known for his role as the iconic Sherlock Holmes on Elementary. He was on the CBS drama for 7 seasons, and the audience simply loved him in that. But that's not all. Television fans should also recognize him from Dexter. Following this, Khalid Abdallah in Moon Knight. This might be the most notable year of his career, and it's fully deserved. Earlier this year, Abdallah appeared in the widely loved Moon Knight. He played Salim in the MCU show, and his character was essential in creating the mythology of the show's universe. On the Netflix show, he's taking on the role of Dodi Fayed, so you know he's going to be around for a couple of seasons at least. For those who don't know, Fayed was an upper-class film producer who was also in a high-profile relationship with Lady Di. Abdallah is in all 10 episodes of season 5, so you can assume he's pretty important already. Next up, Andrew Havel in The King. Throughout her life and rule, the Queen has had many private secretaries. These roles connect the Crown to the UK government and establish most of the royals' organizational duties. So far on the show, Martin Charteris was keeping the role, but Havel is taking over from here onward, and he's familiar with such roles. The actor is no stranger to period pieces, as he's played characters in the Shakespeare adaptation The King, Downton Abbey, and more recently, The Duke. We doubt he'll fit in as the Queen's private secretary in season 5. Lastly, Claudia Harrison in Humans. Over the last couple of seasons, Princess Anne has been getting more and more screen time on the show, and rightly so. She has never been a central character, but we see her now and then, offering important perspective to whatever's happening, as she is super close to the main characters. Harrison will play a role in season 5, and we couldn't be more excited to see her. She was especially great in AMC's Humans, even though it was a small role. Apart from that, she's also on Murphy's Law and Delicious. We hope the Crown allows her to show off some talent this season. She's got loads of it.
So it's really lovely to just come and celebrate everyone's hard work tonight and watch some episodes. You have this real sense of responsibility to the show because you're cast number 3.
And that's a wrap for this video. Who are you most excited to see in the 5th season of The Crown? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Goodbye for now, and see you next time with another equally entertaining video like this.